Laura here, I'm back. I am starting a new, somewhat themed reading vlog. I am a part of the Avengers Reading Challenge, which is hosted by Coffee Books and Bullet Journals and a couple of other people, and they are doing a 48-hour readathon challenge, and it's kind of themed to go with the books that we read for that challenge, and if we read for 48 hours, or I think it's like 10 hours, I think you get some prizes. So I am still recovering from my COVID vaccination. I do feel good. I'm just a little bit out of it, but other than that, I feel pretty good. My arm still really hurts. But I do want to tackle some books in the next 48 hours since I'm not really going to be doing anything anyway. I'm going to catch up on some YouTube videos. But the books I'm going to focus on is Loki's Wolves, The Blackwell Pages by Kelly Ann Armstrong and Melissa Marr. This is a book that has to do with Vikings, according to Goodreads. I actually have the whole trilogy. And I've been missing some mythology books in my life, and I've had this book for quite a while. I got this from Book Out like a couple of years ago. I got the whole trilogy. So I'm going to start this one. I actually did start. I read about 14 pages, but I'm going to read a little bit more, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. I also would like to read Speak Easy, Speak Love by Michaela George. This is a book that's set in the 1920s, and it's a much to do about nothing retelling. This is also from my bookshelf over here that I'm trying to get rid of the books and read them at a quicker pace. So this could be for the challenge set in the 20th century, which I'm really excited about because that's another prompt on another one. This one I really don't know, but it's an arc I just got from Wednesday Book, and it's Cool for the Summer by Dadla Adler. I also am doing the TBR and Beyond reading challenge, so these might or will probably also work from this one, but I just got this, and this is coming out in May. And I think that this is an LGBTQ romance with sort of like a twist. And the last book I'm going to try to tackle, I doubt I'm going to get to all of these, is Smash It by Francina Simone. And this, I think, is like an Ophelia retelling, but it also will probably count for Shuri's board or a couple of other boards about Black creators, which came out for Black History Month. So these are my books. I doubt I'm going to finish them all, but I am going to do my best. And I will kind of come in every like 50 pages and give you guys an update. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright, here I'm back. It's about 10:23, so I have been reading for about an hour and a half, which is good. I always say this. I always make progress on my YouTube queue because I always forget to watch YouTube videos, and then I have like 33 to watch. So I do have. Let me see if it will tell me. I do have about 26 left, which actually is not that bad. So. But I did actually wind up making quite a bit of progress, but not a lot. I'm 50 pages into the Loki Wolves, the Blackwell Pages. This book really reminds me a lot of the Son of Swords series the Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan. I like it, but you basically follow these three characters. One character is a descendant of Thor, and the other two characters are descendants of Loki, and they are basically waiting for the end times or Ragnarok to happen, and you have these three kids that are sort of at the heart of it. Two of the point of views are brothers or cousins, I think, and then you have Matt, who is the descendant of Thor. I really am liking this, and I would definitely agree. Norse mythology brought to life, ideal for Percy Jackson fans. I would totally agree. I really am liking it. Matt's parents are super hard on him, and they expect him to be perfect, and I think that that's always interesting to put in a middle grade novel. But I'm really just curious to see how this book develops, and I'm pleased to report that this book does feature Vikings, which was the prompt I was hunting for on my Avengers reading board, and I was having a really, really big challenge finding something to actually liked. This is actually a trilogy. It's Loki, Wolves, Odin Ravens, and Thor's Serpents, so I'm going to read about 50 more pages, and then I will give you guys a quick update. I am feeling good. No major problems. A small headache, but that is what they say that happens when you get the COVID vaccination because it kind of kicks your immune system. But I'm trying to drink a lot of water, so I'm going to read about 50 more pages, and then I'll give you guys an update. Bye. Just checking back in. It is about 11:30, so I did wind up reading for about 2.5 hours for this readathon, which I will definitely read more. But I am going to take a little bit of a reading break. I did wind up reading. I'm watching some like newsy things before I go back to my YouTube videos, but I will definitely finish this today because there's not a lot of them. Some of them are really, really long, so it might take me all day. But I wound up getting up to page 100 in Loki Wolves, the Blackwell Pages. Really, this book is just reminding me so much of the Percy Jackson story, and I did enjoy Magnus Chase. This story has so many fun elements that I'm just really liking. I like that we have three very different characters. I like how that they're sort of building up the prophecy elements to it, which I love. I love a story about a good prophecy. And I like that these characters are going to sort of be forced to work together. I also do like the magical, like not like the the framework of this story. I like this small town. I like how there's some leaders in this community that may not be doing the best thing for Matt, and I like Matt as a huge character. He does remind me a little bit of Percy, I'll be honest. But he's also very familiar with this world, which is unlike Percy, so that's like kind of a fun thing. I do like that we have 3 different characters. I said this before. I love trios of characters. Way back from my Harry Potter days, I always like trios, and I'm really, really liking it. So I'm going to take a little bit of a reading break, go get myself some lunch, and I will update you guys when I start reading again. Bye. It's Larry here. I'm back. I just want to say that I did wind up reading for about 3 hours altogether, taking some breaks for stuff. But I did also wind up getting up to page 130 in Loki's Wolves, the Blackwell pages. I'm really liking this book. I like adventure books a lot. I also love books that are deeply rooted in mythology. And this might be one of those books that sort of has a family component or familiar component that is more like the books that like where the parents aren't really involved. I sometimes struggle with those a little bit, but I do really like the characters. I think that they're fun, and they're about to go on a deeper adventure, and I'm curious like how that is going to work. And they're working with a trio of kids that don't really get along. 2 are cousins, but the other one is like they're opposites because one's descended from Loki and one's descended from Thor. Um, but they don't get along at all, and they're both basically trying to stop Ragnarok, but Max's Matt's parents or grandparents, I guess, think that he will bring about the demise at his own death. So, they're sort of trying to figure out everything else, but there's also a lot of other characters involved. There's a lot of Norse mythology creatures and characters involved, which I'm really liking. Reminds me of some of the characters definitely give me major Percy Jackson and the Lightning themed flashbacks, but I really am liking it. So I'm going to read another like 30 pages. When I get to 150, I will definitely update you guys. One thing I do like about this book is there are like full color illustrations, or not, well, there's just full illustrations. So really liking this, but I'm going to read about 30 more pages and then I'll give you guys a quick update. Bye. It's about 1:45. I did wind up getting up to page 150 in Loki's Wolves. The adventure is definitely developing, and I really like how they're sort of intertwining all of these mythology elements. And it's funny, when I read Magnus Chase, Magnus was a son of Frey, and this is definitely a son of Loki, which is than Thor. So it's a little bit more on the nose than that one, but I still am really liking it. I like how these 2 characters, or these group of characters, is sort of forced to work together. And I said I still like the trio. I like the quest element, so I'm gonna keep reading. I also did make some YouTube video progress. I now only have 25 left, which is definitely doable for today. So I'm gonna go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I get up to page 200. Thanks. I'm back. I did wind up reading a little bit more. I also did wind up getting my YouTube queue done. I keep on saying Netflix queue. I mean my YouTube queue. I just watched Super Space Chick's news video, which I love those videos because she finds a lot more stuff than I do. So I always like listen to those intently so I don't forget when TV shows are coming out, because that's also one of my goals in 2021 is to be better at watching adaptations, which I failed at in 2020. The reason I failed out in 2020 is that I didn't know when anything was coming out because everything kept getting pushed and then dates weren't clear. So, but I did wind up reading to page 200 in Loki's Wolves, the Blackwell pages. I really am quite fond of this book. I think it's great. It reminds me a lot of Percy Jackson. I just don't feel super connected to the characters. I like again, I'm a big fan of the trio. There's a lot of elements happening. There's an adventure element. There's an outside element to the story. There's also a lot of like Norse characters and myths that are being exposed. I do like that the main characters in this book are descended from Thor and Loki. I think it just adds a little bit more drama to the series. I really was a big fan of Magnus Chase, but that story focused on side gods. This one focuses on those 2. So I'm really happy about this one. There's just a lot of dynamics between the characters that I'm really enjoying, and there's a lot of talk about pressure and stuff like that, and also Matt's potential like destiny and what that means. So I'm really liking it. I'm probably going to read another like 50 pages and then I will give you guys another update. My goal is to finish this today because I do actually want to watch. I want to watch WandaVision today. I do want to watch All the Boys I Loved Before, and I want to do a little bit of like a break, but I know if I don't finish this today, then I probably won't be able to succeed in my reading goal. So I want to make some more progress on this. I'm going to go get some water and get a drink, but I will update you guys when I read about 50 more pages. Larry here, I'm back. I'm going to take a little bit of a reading break. I might actually stop reading for the day. We will see. I have a little bit of a headache and I want to kind of relax a little bit. But I am really liking this. Definitely getting to the point of the story where I'm really intrigued to kind of see how it ends. The one thing that I'm like, I feel like I'm missing like where they're going. That has not been made super clear to me. Like I know they're trying to stop Ragnarok from happening, and there's a lot of elements to that story, but there's no like pressure. There's not the pressure that like I saw in the Magnus Chase series or in the Percy Jackson series. Like it's not as tense as those books, and I think I'm just not feeling super connected to the characters, and there's a lot of them in the story. It sort of reminds me of the size of the cast of characters that we had in the second Percy Jackson series, which it took a while to get there because we had so many series to kind of get to know those characters. So I am liking it. I have about, let's see, I'm on page 250, and this book ends at like, I think it ends at like 350. I have like about 100 pages left, about. So I'm going to take a little bit of a reading break, watch a little bit. I want to catch up on WandaVision. I want to watch a couple of episodes of, what's it called? Big Bang Theory. And then I will see how I'm feeling, but I might wind up coming back at like 8 and just reading like another 50 pages and see how that is. But I do need a little bit of a break. So I will be back in a bit for this reading vlog. Bye. Here, I'm back. So I did wind up taking quite a bit of a break last night. I did come down with a small fever. And I was really, really cold and chilly. I feel a little bit better. Still, the after effects of getting your vaccination. I definitely say, whenever you do get your vaccination, try to lay low for the next couple of days if you can, because I think you're probably going to have some lingering effects, especially from the second dose. But so I'm just hoping to get some reading done today. I do want to tackle the rest of Loki Wolves and just see how far I can get. Right now I'm on page 262. I am enjoying it. Pretty solid read. I'm not feeling super connected to the characters, and there is a lot of characters in this story, but I do enjoy it. So I'm gonna kind of make it my mission. I did wind up reading about 5 hours yesterday, before I wasn't feeling my best. So that's 5 hours to add to the total, and I'm gonna start counting at 9 and just try to read at least 5 hours today, and then I can at least say that the battle is completed. My goal is to read this and pick up another book. So I'm going to go start this. My also goal is to complete all my YouTube videos, which is another goal, but I do want to do some newsy YouTube videos before I start that. So I'm going to go start this, and I will update you guys when I read up to page 300, which was not as far as I got last night, which was the goal. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I'm back. It's about 10 o'clock. I did wind up reading to page 300 in Loki's Wolves, the Blackwell pages. They are right at the climax of this read. I'm really excited. The book definitely had some elements now to sort of get, which I think was what the first half of this book was needing. I needed a little bit more direction in the first half of the book. But I also do like that there's a lot of characters. I wonder if maybe in future books we'll get a few more point of views, because a lot of these characters are new to the other characters, and the main point of view characters know like fewer characters, so that's the only thing. But I am curious to see how the final battle ends, and I think that it definitely has a feeling to me of a Percy Jackson read, or like, another mythology based read. But I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna finish this, and then I will come in and check you guys in. I've also read for another hour, so I'm at the 6-hour mark for the readathon altogether. But I'm gonna go read the last 58 pages of this, and then I'll give you guys a check-in. Bye. Right here, I just want to say that I did wind up finishing Loki Wolves, the Blackwell pages by Kelly Armstrong and Melissa Marr. I wound up really liking this book. I think I would probably give it 3 stars. I'm really intrigued to see where book 2 goes. But it was a very, very solid, middle grade fantasy series. I wish I felt a little bit more connected to the characters. And I wish this book had focused on a smaller amount of characters, because I felt like there was a lot of characters and I feel like I didn't know them all super well. But I definitely want to check out book 2. So at the time of this, I have read about 8 hours during this readathon. But this is the next book that I finished. This book also went for the read a book about Vikings or had Viking elements in it, and that means I finally have Thor for this reading challenge, which is the Avengers reading challenge hosted by Coffee Books and Bullet Journals and a bunch of other people. Really liking that. It's definitely challenging me a little bit. So, the next book I'm going to pick up is Speak Easy, Speak Love, which is a Midsummer Night's Dream, or no, a Much to Do About Nothing 1920s retelling. My friend Tiffany wanted me to read this book quite a bit ago. I think this was a couple of years ago, but I decided to pick it up, and I was going to read the back. By the end of the summer, filled with romantic misunderstandings, witty misgenres, and daily escapades, they'll either all be enemies or they'll all be in love. 3 girls, 3 boys. I'm really excited for this one. It's actually from, here, I'll turn my camera. It's actually from this shelf, which is my Avengers shelf, but I kind of going to pick a book every single month to read just to kind of get my TBR down, and this is the one that I wound up picking, so I'm going to go start this. I am taking a little bit of a YouTube break because CNN is very, very interesting right now, so I'm going to kind of watch that until they go away from the political commentary because I like the panel of people that are talking, so I'm probably going to watch that. But I'll give you guys an update when I read about 30 to 50 pages just because I don't know much about the story of Much Ado About Nothing, but I do know it. I don't even know if it features different characters, but I know that the titles have like a title, which I think the chapters have a title, which I really like. So I'm going to go read about 30 to 50 pages, and I'll give you guys an update. This book is also 404 pages. I've also read, with this one, 358 pages, which means I just have to get up to 500 to, like, beat the game or beat the reading challenge. So, really excited about that. I'm going to go start Speak Easy, Speak Love, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. So it is about 2 o'clock. I do want to say that I'm about an hour and a half away from meeting my readathon goal, which was to read 5 hours for this Avengers themed reading challenge. And I also did wind up reading a quick 60 pages in Speak Easy, Speak Love, which I'm really enjoying. So this is a 1920s historical fiction rom-com for the ages. It's also a retelling of Much to Do About Nothing. So you follow a couple of different characters. You follow Benedict, and he is, and this series takes place in New York and on Long Island in the 1920s, which I think is a really, really fun setting. But Benedict is an upper crust boy. He was in prep school at the very start of this, and he has desires to be a novelist. His father does not find that to be like a worthwhile pursuit of his time, so he winds up basically escaping from prep school with a colleague of his named Claude and Prince, and they wind up going out on Long Island to this big mansion to kind of spend the summer, and that's sort of where they meet. They meet up with 3 girls, which I really like. One of the girls is named Beatrice, who she's basically been sent to this home for wayward girls. She's been ruined, or believed to be ruined, because her stepdad refused to pay for her finishing school expenses. So this uncle decides to take her in. So she's another point of view. And then you have Hero, who's Beatrice's cousin, and they basically run a speakeasy. And then you have basically like a servant named, I think her name's Michelle, or I don't know what her name is. Maggie. And she's basically a nightclub singer at the speakeasy. And Beatrice and Benedict have got off to a very, very rocky start. They are definitely not liking each other right now. But I like the quote on the back of this book says, 3 boys, 3 girls, 3 boys. At the end of the summer filled with romantic misunderstandings, witty machinations, daring escapades, they either all be enemies or they'll all be in love. And I think that is adorable. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's quite a fun read. It's exactly what I need. Super lighthearted. I like the 1920s twist. I also do like that there is some diversity in it. I think that that's really important. Normally in 1920 books, you don't really see diversity from the ones that I've read, or any historical fictions, really. They don't have a lot of diversity, so I like that immediately. And I just like Benedict and Beatrice right off the bat. I think they're super fun. And Beatrice is a really unique character. She wants to be a doctor. She's really good at fixing cars. And she's kind of setting everyone off on like different spheres because they're not expecting that from her. So I'm going to read another, like, probably get up to page 100, and then I'll give you guys another check-in. But so far, really liking it. I also wanted to do a quick YouTube queue update. I only have 21 videos left. I feel like I missed a couple, so I'm going to probably, like, finish this queue today and then kind of just go back and make sure I didn't miss anybody, because I haven't, I probably missed some this week. But I am going to go read a little bit more, and then I'll give you guys a check-in. Bye. Right here, I'm back. I just want to do a quick update. I actually probably did wind up reading about 500 pages, but I'm gonna wait. I definitely hit the 5-hour reading mark for sure, because it is 5:06, and this is when I stopped reading yesterday because I wasn't feeling my best. So I definitely did like the 10 hours of reading. I don't think I got to 500 pages yet. Actually, I don't think I did, but I did want to read an extra 100 pages of. Well, now I'm on page 102. I'm really liking this book. It's definitely set in the 1920s. There's a lot of speakeasy activity in here. There's a lot of characters, which I'm really, really liking. I just like the 1920s environment. I also like that it's set on Long Island. I like all the characters, which I think is fun. I think Benedict is just a fun character point of view to be in. I also like characters that do jobs that, like, is not approved. Like, I like that Beatrice wants to be a doctor, and, I like how there was some, I would say, like, adventure. I'll say there was some adventure elements with the speakeasy, but I also like that there is some female friendship dynamics that are developing, and it's just a great read. I also like that there's singing, and Benedict is a writer. I like books that feature creative pastimes for characters, especially characters not in modern day, because I think that that's so rare. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really liking this book a lot. So I don't know if I'm gonna go finish it today because it is quite long, but I am gonna keep reading. So I will talk to you guys when I read another 50 pages, and we'll check in. Bye, guys. Here I'm back. It's about 6:11. I definitely do feel a lot better than last night, which is good. So I'm gonna keep reading a little bit more. I do end up getting up to page 124 in Speak Easy, Speak Loud. I'm really liking Beatrice and Benedict in the story. They are definitely the love to hate romance, but I also like that it's getting a little bit more action packed. There's some speakeasy drama, there's some mafia drama. I'm really liking that part of it. I also like all the side characters. I also love a book set at like a mansion or like a big house. I think that has a lot of politics. And they also do have a bunch of side characters that I'm really enjoying. And you really don't know like how the romances are gonna sort of line up, but I like that again. I know Much New But Nothing has a lot of like conflicting romantic elements in it. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I read that one. But I'm really liking it, so I'm going to try to keep reading. I doubt I'm going to finish this today, but my goal is to get to 500 pages. So I'm going to come back in when I know how many pages I read and just to see if I've completed the readathon. Don't know if I have, but I will come in when I've calculated that. Actually, wait, let me just look. Okay, so hold on 1 second. I can tell you that because, okay, Loki's Wolves was 358 pages, which is, let me just do that. Oh, I can calculate it. Sorry. Oh no, I don't know if that was there. Okay, 358 pages plus 124, 482. Let me see where it is. Let me see. 482 pages. So I literally have to read 20 more pages, and then I have read 500 pages, which was the purpose of the readathon. So I'm going to go read a little bit more. I'll probably read about 50 pages, and then I will see what prizes I get. Because I haven't actually looked at the prizes yet. I just know that I want to finish. I doubt I'm going to finish this book tonight. But after this reading vlog, I'm going to head into a 24-hour, like, Valentine's Day reading log because I'm not doing anything tomorrow. It's supposed to snow and I'm still not feeling my best. So a readathon is what I'm planning on doing. So I'm going to go read a little bit more of this and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hey friends, Lori here. I'm back. So I'm actually going to put this reading vlog on pause. The Avenger reading challenge will be over in a couple of hours, but I'm just sort of tired. Still recovering from the shot. It should be better by tomorrow, if not tomorrow, then Monday. But I am going to do a 24-hour reading vlog tomorrow because I didn't get to catch up on all the stuff that I wanted to watching wise. So, and it is Valentine's Day, so I'm going to kind of do a 24-hour reading vlog tomorrow. I'm still debating if I'm going to read a majority of this tomorrow or if I'm going to read a shorter book. I haven't quite decided yet, but I do think I'm going to probably make some progress on this. I'm on page 140, and this book is like 400. it's 400 pages, so I'm probably just going to try to finish this book tomorrow. That's going to be my goal. This will kind of be the end of the reading vlog. Also tomorrow, I do want to watch To All the Boys I Loved Before. I might try to sneak to town and get one of the Valentine's Day donuts, but it is supposed to snow tomorrow. I also do want to start my nonfiction reading because I want to read 50 pages of my nonfiction book. So I do have a couple of things planned, and I do want to get back to listening to my audiobook tomorrow. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'm feeling a little bit better than I am today, but I'm going to kind of relax. I'm going to watch a little bit of Big Bang Theory. I just like that show. Just puts a smile on my face. So I'm going to check in with you guys tomorrow morning, but I am really liking this book. It's definitely a fun read. I like all the characters, and I like the diversity of it. And it's been, again, this is a book that a friend of mine has recommended to me. So I'm going to check in with you guys tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Here, it's almost 9 o'clock. I did wind up sleeping a little bit later, but good news, I feel a lot better. I don't feel as stiff. I don't feel as tired. I don't feel as sore, which is good. So it means I'm actually getting better, and most of the effects are gone, but I'm still going to take it a little bit easier today. So my goal is to actually do quite a bit of reading today. I do want to finish Speak Easy, Speak Love and start one of my other books. So right now I'm on page 140, and this book is like 400 pages. So I'm going to get a move on. I'm also going to try to finish my YouTube queue. I watched so much Big Bang Theory last night, and I just love that show. It's like the perfect, like friends to lovers romance for Penny and Sheldon in that series. It's like one of my favorite, comedy romances, and I haven't seen that show from start to end in a while, so doing a little bit of a rewatch. I'm also do want to watch To All the Boys I Loved Before tonight. That is a big goal. Because I want to watch it on Valentine's Day, but for most of the day, I'm just going to relax and I'm going to read my book. So I'm going to check in with you guys when I read like another 50 pages and let you guys know about my YouTube queue and how it's going. I think I have like 20 videos left. Some of them are super long, but I will report back when I read about 50 more pages of this one, and we will touch base. Just checking back in. I do wind up getting up to page about 200 in Speak Easy, Speak Love, and still really enjoying it. You're definitely getting more about the other characters in this book. I would definitely say Benedict and Beatrice are the main characters, but you are getting more about the side characters. You're definitely learning more about John and Prince and Maggie. I think Maggie is definitely like an interesting character in this read. But it's just fun. It definitely has elements that reminds me of like The Great Gatsby, because the house is a big part of it, and there is like secretive elements. There's like the speakeasy element, the prohibition elements, and it's just super interesting. I think all the characters, like you get all these 5 characters, and they're kind of thrust into a house together, and they all have different goals and different plans, and I do like that because they're very, very different, and they're all people that are very different for like the times that they're living in. Like this is the 1920s in New York on Long Island. It's also fun hearing about like Roosevelt Field, and like now Roosevelt Field, for those that don't live in New York, is like a mall that we all go to. It's like the biggest mall that we have like near me. It's like 30 minutes away from, no, actually not probably, it's probably 20 minutes away, but it's like a mall, but here it's like a plane flying field. So it's just interesting to see like how they sort of build it. I'm liking the characters. I'm just curious, like how, like I'm still curious to see how all the characters are gonna wind up at the end, because like they all do have a certain romantic element. I'll say that, but like it could go both ways. It's fun. I'm really enjoying it. So my goal is to definitely finish this book today. I also have said in the past, this reading vlog especially, I've really didn't do much the past couple of days. I also have a week off, so normally before a week off, I prep myself to the hills, and I haven't really done that yet. So after I finish this, I'm going to do that. I also really haven't listened to my audiobooks recently because I haven't been working out and stuff like that. So I want to sort of get on that track again, especially because I'm going back to work in about 2 weeks. Like I have exactly 14 days until I go back to work, which is perfect for a vaccine. So, but I'm excited for that. I just have to sort of like prep this week to like make the most of it. So I'm going to read a little bit more, and when I get up to page 230, or 250, I'll probably give you guys another update. But so far, it's definitely a very, very slow-paced story. It's not a fast-paced read by any means, but I'm really liking it. So, and it kind of reminds me of my historical fiction reads I've been reading, which is perfect for one of the challenges I have to do. I have to read a 20th century book for the TBR and Beyond Reading Group Challenge, and then I have to read a historical fiction book for the Avengers Reading Challenge. So right on track. I'm enjoying this book, so I'm gonna keep reading. And also, small YouTube update. I'm watching Super Space Chick, and I'm loving it. But I'm also have about 13 videos left because I always save one for tomorrow morning. But and I actually, I have a workout one too. So maybe it's like 12 videos to watch. So, but yeah, I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's about 2:31. I just wanted to do another check-in. I did wind up getting up to page 250 in Speak Easy, Speak Love. I will say this book, there's a lot happening, like a lot going on in this story. There's a lot of second plots. There's a lot of plots that sort of contradict each other a little bit. And you sometimes forget whose head you're in because the way this book is structured, like every chapter is titled, which I say I normally love. But you get a lot of point of views in a chapter, and the voices aren't always that distinct because the characters are super similar, especially the girl character. Well, except for one point of view, but a lot of the characters they don't have very like unique voices. I'll say that. So it's sometimes hard to remember like whose head you're in because she does float back and forth between different characters in a scene, and sometimes that confuses me as a reader. That's a personal preference. But I love the environment. I love the setting. I think that's super fun. Um, but I just wish the point of views were a little bit clearer. But I am still reading it. I'm on page 250, and it goes up to page like 413 again. This is a longer standalone, which sometimes I don't love in contemporaries, and I think that might be this one because it's a lot of information that they're throwing at me as a reader, and overall I am enjoying it though, so I am going to keep reading. I'll update you guys when I get up to page 300, which again, I kind of update you guys every like 50 pages, but I also did want to say that I did make a little bit more progress on my Instagram queue. I only have like 12 videos left, but like one Oh, I have to find that one. There's one that's like over like an hour. So that one is probably the one I'm gonna watch like next. The other ones are pretty short. But I am going to definitely make that my goal. I definitely have not been watching like anything other than Big Bang Theory because I didn't even watch WandaVision. I didn't watch To All the Boys I Loved Before. I didn't watch any new stuff. So after I finish these YouTube videos, I'm going to kind of dive back into that. But I do want to finish this book today. Again, it was on my secret, not even my secret TBR. I don't even know what that means, but like my shelf TBR. And I do want to pick a new concept for my March reading vlog because I am going back to work. So I have to sort of figure out like what I want to read for March because it's going to be a very different month than what I've done for the past like since March of last year. So I'm going to start thinking about that a little bit more. I will be commuting. I will be on a train. I will be on a subway, which is going to up my audiobook listening time quite a bit. But it's also going to be more like lot more time to read, which is awesome, but still a little bit stressed out with trains and commuting and stuff. I also do want to do a big unhaul. I think I'm going to do that this week when I'm home, and I'll probably like film that for you guys and kind of put that up in March because I have quite a few books that just from like the end of the year and this year that I never wound up unhauling. So I think I'm going to do an unhaul for you guys and predict and do a couple of other videos. If you guys have want to see any videos from me, put your suggestions below in the comments below, and I will add them to my filming queue. I always ask on Instagram, and no one ever gives me any suggestions. I always ask on YouTube. On Twitter, no one gives me any suggestions. So I'll kind of I'll look for this comments in this video if you guys want any specific videos that you guys would like to see me do. I will pretty much up for anything. But yeah. Put them in the comment of this video, and I will try to put them for my queue for March and April for when I have some filming of the time. So, see you guys in another bit for another bit of an update, but talk to you guys later. Bye. Larry here. It's almost 2 o'clock. I did wind up reading a little bit more of Speak Easy, Speak Loud. Problem with this book is I just don't feel, the problem with this book is I just don't feel super connected to the characters because there's a lot of them. This book is very busy, and I don't feel like there's a solid point of plot going forward. Like they're working in a speakeasy and they're trying to save the speakeasy. So there's like a lot of like plot stuff around that, but then all the characters have their own individual storylines, and there's just a lot of characters to keep track of. Like I really like Beatrice and Benedict, and I really like Maggie and her significant other perhaps. But I'm not like captivated enough like to like love the characters, and that's kind of what's holding me back. Also, this is like a longer book. This edition is like close to 400 pages. So, and I just read another 400-page book. I've been reading very, very long books this month, and I think that that's a little bit of the problem too. And it's just very, very dense. There's a lot of historical stuff with the 1920s, and I, as a reader, am not that familiar with the 1920s. Like, I just read another book set in the 1920s. Which was Romeo and Juliet, which was another book that was set, but that was like in China, so it was a little bit different. But again, that is not a time period. Maybe I need to do some. Maybe I need to do like a historical fiction book about the 1920s. Maybe I'll add that to my nonfiction books because I just don't feel like I know enough. Like my friend Tiffany really, really liked this book, but she's also involved in history. She's like a history scholar, so I feel like I miss. And I know that there's like an author's note at the very, very back, which I will definitely sort of read, because I think that will kind of help me a little bit. But again, I am going to finish it. I'm going to read about another 50 pages, and then I'll give you guys a check-in when I get up to page 350 and see how I feel at that point. I like it. It's definitely not my favorite, and I'm feeling just a little bit bogged down by the story, and it's not capturing me, and there's a lot of characters, and I don't feel connected to really any of them overall to like want to keep reading quickly. So I'm going to keep reading. I'll give you guys another update, but I did also make some progress on my YouTube queue. I only have 10, like probably like 9 videos left, and they're, one of them is like 40 minutes, and this one I'm listening to right now is like an hour. But I'm gonna go read another 50 pages, and then I'll give you guys another check-in. Okay. And it's about 3. I did wind up reading about I have like about 100 pages left in this, so about 100 pages. Actually probably about more like 70. I am liking it. I will say, I think the thing that this book struggled with was there was a lot of characters. I would have almost liked this book entirely told from like one person's perspective, because there was a lot of people and I felt like it was hard to follow whose point of view head you were in. But also, like, I like the point of views, but I would have liked maybe fewer characters, and there was a lot happening. There's a lot of elements to kind of keep track of. It also was again, I keep saying it was sort of a long book. I didn't really feel connected to any of the characters because there was so many, and the voices and the point of view sounded a little bit familiar. So I'm curious to see how it rounds up. I'm definitely going to read the author's notes. So when I'm done with this, I'm definitely going to check in with you guys. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog, because I've been reading since Thursday. Like, that's the only thing I've done because I've been like so weak and tired. I haven't really felt like doing anything. So I'm going to take like a little bit of a break. I'm going to sort of like play my audiobook, do some errandy stuff, kind of get ready for the week. I do have off. This is like my last break for a while, and I'm just sort of relaxing this week. I'm going to go get my hair done, but I'm really just relaxing and kind of just, my arm still really hurts, but other than that, I feel much better. So I'm going to kind of plan my week, figure out what I want to do, kind of go through all my quotes, set up my journal. I haven't journaled for a couple of days. I want to do that. So I'm going to kind of give myself a couple of hours. I also was really liking the audiobook that I listened to, Offer from a Gentleman, which was the 3rd Bridgerton book. So I think I'm just going to kind of start a new reading vlog and kind of just make it a contemporary reading vlog, because I have quite a few things I want to do this week that are contemporary themed. So that's kind of my plan. But I'm going to kind of tackle the rest of this. I will say right now, I would probably say it's probably like barely a 3-star read. Probably more of a 2-star read, but I will probably round it up because the first half of this book I really did enjoy. I just think the end, there was not as much direction, and it wasn't as plot focused as I would like, and it was just hard to like dig into the story. So I'm going to go tackle the rest of this, and then I'll come in and wrap up this reading vlog and let you guys know what I read. This was the combination of 2 reading-thons, 24 hours of reading on Valentine's Day, which will get cut a little bit short because I do want to take a little bit of a reading break. And then I'm going to go start my next one. So see you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's Laurie here, so I'm back. So I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog. This was like a Lunar New Year reading vlog because it was a weekend. It was also a Valentine's Day reading vlog. I also did the Avengers reading challenge, their boss battle readathon. And in that readathon, I wound up finishing Loki's Wolves by K.L. Armstrong and Melissa Marr. I like this book. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a great start to a Norse mythology series. I liked how this series was definitely more focused on Loki and Thor's descendants. The previous one I read by Rick Riordan was not focused on those 2 characters. And I just hope that book 2 kind of makes me feel a little bit more connected to the characters. And then the next book that I read that I just finished was Speak Easy, Speak Love by Michaela George. This also came from my shelf that I'm trying to attack my TBR a little bit more. Well, admit this book did not impress me the way that I wanted to. My friend Tiffany really wanted me to read it, and she is definitely more of a historical fiction fan than I am. I am still diving into this genre. This, I think, would have been a great series. I think that if she had like 3 or 4 books set over one summer and you follow a couple of different, like one couple in each book, I would have loved that because I felt like there was too many people in this story and I had a hard time feeling connected to them and know whose head I was in. So I really just, I definitely like the first half of the book, like the first 120 pages, a lot more than the second 120 pages because it's a longer book. So that's like the first time I've ever really read a book and wish it was a series. I just think there was a lot of people and not enough time was given to kind of develop them. But I did wind up finishing 2 of these. I was also recovering from my COVID shot, so I was kind of not doing a whole lot. But yeah, so I'm going to take a little bit of a reading break, kind of do some errandy stuff because I haven't been able to do that, and then I will come back and I will start my next reading blog. So let me know in the comments what are some of your recent reads, and I'll talk to you guys for my next reading blog. Bye.